up to me. Y'all worry about the wrong thing, little.
What's up, everybody? This is your boy DJ Funk Junky, and we are on Street Heat Way to Fame. And we do have the lovely Dakotah Vibez in the building. Let them know where you're from and how they can reach you and what kind of platforms that you got.
Right now, you can't find my music on really anything because I'm waiting to release it, building that vibration. But you can find me on Facebook under Dakotah Vibez right now. And on Instagram, you can find me as well. And I have Snapchat, Cody Vibez as well. So those are the platforms you can find me at. And I'm from Brooksville, Florida, Spring Hill area. I grew up around Pasco, Hernando. So that's where I'm from. That's where I stay now, repping that Hernando County.
So basically, you're another Florida baby.
I was born in Tennessee, but my parents moved me out to Newport Richey when I was like 1. So I've been here for 25 years. So I'm a Florida baby, 100%. All my babies are Florida babies. So
that's what's up. That's what's up. I mean, you know, people don't recognize that we do have a lot of talent that is in this state.
Oh yeah, there's so much.
You know,
I've
so
met
it's
so
just
many
not St.
artists.
Petersburg. I mean, yes, you know, a few things have came out of St. Petersburg, but you know, like there's still other places like Newport Richey, Clearwater, just to name a few. You know
right. No, there's a lot of talent. That's one thing I've seen since the start of performing is, you know, a lot of really talented people, and not just talented people, but people that have a lot of energy to put into it that don't get the attention they deserve.
Right.
Definitely.
You know, that's one of the things I was gonna lead up to. Do you feel that, you know, as a female artist, do you feel that they get the attention that they deserve as far as like the male artists do?
That's it's been different being a female in the industry because I feel like nobody takes you seriously. And I feel like when I want to approach things from a different standpoint, you know, not being half naked, I'm not the type of person to shake my ass on stage. That's just not, I might do that in my own home, but I'm not the personality to be that way. So when I don't approach it that way, I'm almost questioned why I don't, but I feel like if I was to take it that way, my music wouldn't be taken seriously. And I'm not in this for, you know, my body or for how pretty I am. I'm in this for my music. I've been singing since I could speak. I've been saying I'm gonna be on a stage singing, Mom. That's my thing since I was a toddler. So it's really, I want people to focus on my music and the message in my music and the sound, because, you know, I put a lot into the actual vocals on my tracks. So I don't want that to distract from it. I'm not saying, you know, eventually, you know, that part of my, you know, what's the word I'm looking for, personality won't come out. But as of now, I feel like I have to be really cautious with how I place myself, because the first year or so I was writing and performing and recording and trying to get my feel for the industry. It was a lot of people that would come to me like, hey, let me help you, let me give you advice. But those people weren't really people that were trying to help me. They're really people who were trying to do other things. So I quickly realized, you know, the people I would kind of shove off like, I'm not interested in that, you know, this is business for me. Those people didn't take me seriously, and it made me back off music. There was a long time, probably like 7 or 8 months, I didn't record, I didn't write, I didn't try to do shows. And a lot of it, you know, being in relationships in the industry, you know, it's 100% male ran. Yes. So you immediately have that, like, putting yourself in a certain position to where you don't get taken like you're trying to, you know, be flirty or something like that. So it's been interesting. And the other female artists I've met are a lot more feminine, and they are those girls that are real done up and, you know, dress a lot different. So it's kind of finding my little place in there. So it's definitely intimidating being a female, and I'm hoping those things set me different and help me make it rather than, you know, prevent me from that. Because I've had a lot of opinions. People love to tell me like, you're great, your music's amazing, but if you want to be a star, you know, you gotta dress different, you gotta show some more skin. And it's like, you know, even if you don't like your body, other people do. But that's not my mindset. I feel like my voice can do all the work for me. I don't need to undress or dance. Y'all are gonna like the music, you're gonna be turned on by the vibe and the voice and the just whole vibe of me, and that's all you need. So if y'all need more than that, OnlyFans, it's not that expensive. Probably about the same as my music. Yeah. So, but I'm not on OnlyFans. Don't.
I mean, you're selling the music. You're selling, like you said, you're selling the vibe. You're not selling your body. I mean, you know,
Right.
if that's the case, you could have been a stripper or you could have been anything else. You
Well,
know
I think a lot of people get it confused with being sexual and being sexualized, and I can be sexual and talk about being sexual and talk about sex without being sexualized. And I think men can't separate that, whereas women can. We can openly talk about sex and not get turned on. Men can't do that. So they assume when I'm singing a song about, you know, sex or, you know, about my man that I'm trying to turn them on or I'm trying to, you know, that's not necessarily the thing. I'm singing about things we can relate to. Women want to hear about sex too. They have sex. They're sexual as well. So, of course, I'm going to write the sexy song, but that doesn't mean I'm going to get naked to sing it. It's just, that's not who I am. And I'm not downing anyone who is, because, I mean, I like to see a girl shake her butt too. Everyone likes it. Bodies are beautiful. That's just not my personality.
And even when you look at it, some videos, just because you're singing about it don't mean you have to be the actress in there doing it.
Right.
You know what
And I
I'm
mean, I could use some bad bitches behind me. I've been thinking,
you know what
like,
I'm
I really need to get some girls because I like the energy. It's just, I'm a little awkward. That's not my energy. I'm not a stripper for a reason. So, you know, I want people to focus on my mind and, again, my message. And, you know, I have kids looking up to me while they don't see those things because they're not old enough to be on social media. Someday it will be seen by them if my music goes the way I plan it to. Everyone will see it. So, you know, when they're older and they understand those things, my movements might be different. But as of now, I have 3 little girls and a son who all look up to me. And last thing I need is their friends and kids at school being like, hey, my mom was just watching a video of your mom and she had her butt out.
Yeah.
I don't want that kind of
The stereotypes kill things quickly because
it does.
People paint a picture. They don't watch the movie.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They don't see how things play out.
Yeah, and my mom she'd have a heart attack, and I care a lot about what my mom thinks.
That's what's up. So, what really brought you to the actual singing part? I mean, I remember you saying that you've been singing since you was little.
Oh, yeah. Music is kind of in my family. I've been singing since I was little. Like, I remember just being a kid, a baby, and seeing, like, people on TV, like, in a concert. Like, you know, a live recording of a concert and, like, them on stage performing and, like, all the people and the energy that they brought to the stage. And I remember telling my mom, like, I want to be a rock star. Like, I want to be a rock star. So, you know, as I got older, I kind of sang a little bit. And there was actually a point where my parents opened a recording studio in Newport Richey in Moon Lake called Stillwater Studios. So they had a recording studio. My brothers were 7 and 10 years older than me, so they were teenagers. So they did the music thing, and they all had their own instruments they learned. And my brothers are still musicians. They still make music. They just not the kind of music I make, but kind of just a family that's oriented by music. So it was more natural for me. But actually writing and recording, you know, my own music, that happened probably in the past 3 years. And I think I probably stopped focusing on my music about 18, 19. I got pregnant, I started having kids, and that could not be my focus. And then I ended up getting divorced, and I didn't have anything that was just about me. So I actually started freestyling with a guy I was dating at the time, because he freestyled, and that's how I realized I could actually write, because I didn't know I could. And I started writing by myself, and then I started freestyling with friends after work, and it kind of just went from there. And people were like, no, you're really good, why aren't you writing? So I took some money and I went to the studio and I started recording, and of course I didn't know anything about beat rights or any of that, so I have a bunch of music I can't use, but it's basis of where I started as an artist, so I love hearing it, listening to it, things no one will ever hear. But
you gotta have a little, you know, for yourself.
No, I think every artist has that moment when they first start where they don't really know how they want their sound to be and like where they want to go with it. So I think it took me about 1.5 years to really find my rhythm and my sound, and a great producer. You know, I work with Blaze, a great engineer, over at 24K, and he just does his little thing. I call it his drip, because he just does his magic, and he takes what I kind of had and he puts the work to it and makes the sound I wanted. So that's important. I've tried to work with some other producers. I don't have anything bad to say, other engineers. Nothing bad to say. It's just the way he works with me.
Y'all have a vibe.
Right. And he's very respectful. I appreciate that. That's a big deal to me. Not that I've dealt with a bunch of disrespectful engineers or anything, but being respectful in how you approach me is a big deal, you know, if I'm going to work with you. So, you know, if I feel like you're being overly flirty, I'm going to assume you're not taking me serious, so I'm not going to take you seriously.
Right.
So I always appreciate that end of it when they're professional and whatnot.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's all a business.
That's what it is, 100%.
So you're the CEO of your company, and you want your company to strive on a certain plateau, so I need you to see my vision as well.
And it's about the energy, too. Like, I'm trying to bring the same vibe and meet you there, not be trying to fill you out the whole time wondering if you're gonna touch me or anything like that, or, you know, go tell people we did stuff.
Right.
That's another thing. I don't want rumors happening. You know, if I go record alone with somebody, or if I do a song with somebody and they go tell all their homeboys, like, yeah, I hit Cody Vibes. No, y'all didn't. Ain't none of y'all done that. Hold up.
Right,
no.
right.
So I don't like all that. I'm a very private person with that stuff. So, you know, even if that was the case, I like to keep it down low. But nah, I just want to do the music. I know there's a lot of other stuff to it, but that's the focus. And fame is important because that gets you the money. But really, if we're talking like my goal, I'm trying to support my kids with it. You know, it's something I have my heart in, so I'm going to keep making the music. But if we're talking about, you know, the performing and the making more music all the time, the putting the money into it, if the purpose of it for me is to get somewhere with it, even if it's not myself performing, even if it was, you know, ghostwriting for somebody and getting money that way. Like, I hope there is some form of income for me at the end of it, you know. But I am going to school. I'm starting college in January because I feel like as a mom, you know, I gotta balance it. But just get everything, do it all, you know, got to. So that's the vibe I'm on.
What genre of music would you say that you're? I mean, we know you're R&B.
Yeah, that's
what
for me.
Yeah, like what would you put yourself? Is it a
kinda,
neo soul or like a
I really don't know. Like, I almost feel like it's a new genre because I have like a weird country sound to my voice itself, but at the same time, I have a lot of R&B and soul in my voice. And then like when I throw my beats on it, it's almost a pop vibe. So I feel like I'm probably gonna get labeled like a new genre. Like, that's probably what it's gonna be. I like that it sounds different. That's my goal. I want it to sound different. I want like my song to play and everyone to be like, who's this?
Right.
That's my goal. Like,
That's
I don't want to
me.
sound like any other artist.
When I was at the showcase, I was like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, when she came up here, I didn't expect that.
Right,
you know
hit with a little 1-2, throw them off a little bit. Wait, pull the track back. What did white girls say? Hold on. That's what I want. I like the surprise. I like to make everyone's hair stand up. If I can give the whole room goosebumps, I did my job. Like, that's my thing. So that's
and the fact that you can really sing. Because a lot of artists, you know what I'm saying, they can harmonize.
Right.
Or they can carry a tune. But you actually, like, when you came to the DJ booth and you was like, no, listen, turn my mic up. I really want to sing. I really want to sing. I'm like, well, no problem. You know what I'm saying? and you actually, you know, performed live and actually did it. And I was like, wow.
I gotta tell you, the first time I did a show, it was with Elijah. He wasn't running it. I think Sal was running that show. And it was over in Spring Hill. It was not very many people showed up. It wasn't like a huge thing, but I performed and I didn't have any backs. I actually messaged Blaze and was like, can you give me my track with like just backs? Like just, you know, my vocal backs. And he was like, sure. So I performed with just backs and everyone was mind blown. They're like, you did that without backs? I was like, that was terrible. I was so breathy. They're like, because you didn't have backs. And I'm like, none of you guys were performing. What? And then I figured out everyone just uses their tracks in the background. And I was like, okay. Well, already I got one up on half these people because I could actually perform. And I'm not, you know, comparing it to anybody. But, you know, at least I know if my track cuts out, I can acapella it the whole way and keep the rhythm.
Right.
Don't have to worry about it.
That shows you're a true performer.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've had training. My parents put me in voice lessons as a kid, on and off. And then, you know, I did chorus. I was in church when I was younger. And I did fine arts through Assemblies of God. So I did like states and I made nationals, but you know, I was a poor kid, so I didn't get to go. But I've done things. I actually auditioned for The Voice once. That's a little bit of a setup. But I went all the way to Nashville and auditioned for The Voice, which was insane because I've never been in a room with so many people that are so ridiculously talented. But it kind of like puts you a little bit in your place to do something like that. So I feel like every vocalist should, because you really can hear like the differences in people, and you see people in all stages of life. And it was a good experience. It was a little disheartening. I was like 18, so it was like a punch right in my gut for me, but it definitely like gave me a little bit of an eye-opener to the TV side of music and how they do things. And I actually have a friend who was on The Voice. He didn't finish, but he was on The Voice, and he's got his little thing going with country music. You know, he's doing it, but definitely not the vibe I'm on.
But making it to a big stage like that is gonna put you on a different plateau. Anyway.
Well, it's a big deal, and it also depends on how they take it once they get there too. You got to take your opportunities and move with it. So I feel like a lot of people get off that show and they don't do what they could with it, and they don't take the opportunities. But you got to look at the opportunities, and you got to realize which ones are serious. That's my hardest thing, is like, you know, a lot of people approach me about things, you know, wanting to manage me, things like that, but it's really knowing who actually has the connections to do something for me and who is trying to use me as a connection to get them where they're going. Which I'm not against that. You know, if you help me get where I'm going, you're going to get bread too, but I've already been taken advantage of for my money. And that's not, you know, that's not what I'm trying to do. So I got to be cautious with my movements.
And keep a contract ready.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just something simple that let them know that, hey, you know, we rocking out together. You know what I'm saying? And this is how this gonna go. This is how this is your mode. This is your job. This is my job. This
right.
And we all come together as a team. Well, before I forget, let's give a shout out to Elijah too.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Because
shout out to Elijah.
Eli put me on with a lot of y'all that, you know what I'm saying, I probably would have never had a chance to meet.
He be making moves, I swear. He knows everybody. I met Elijah working resets at Walmart. That's how I met him. And there was a big group of us freestyling in the parking lot. And at the time, I didn't really talk to him because I had a crazy boyfriend. He also knows him. So I couldn't really talk to him, but he started doing shows. So, you know, I jumped right on that bandwagon, and he keeps it straight with me. You know, he treats me great. I mean, he treats all the artists great. He's an artist. You know, he does some awesome music. We got a show coming up on the 11th, so y'all check that out.
Definitely lock in with that show.
Yes.
It's going to be in Newport Richie at
Smoke One Lounge.
There you go.
Yes, and I think it starts at 9. Don't hold me to that. I think it's 20 at the door.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. So and there's a lot of really good artists. Definitely, like, lots of artists. Some I haven't actually seen perform yet, so I'm excited about that because I love seeing other artists perform. I'm with that. You'll catch me right up there, glued to the stage. So I'm excited for it, and I'll be performing some new songs that nobody's heard.
And that's another thing about it. She brings something new heat every time.
I mean, it helps y'all. I haven't heard much.
Yeah, because I mean, it'd be fire every time. It goes to the next level each and every time.
I appreciate it.
You can't. I mean, you got to give her kudos, and y'all get a chance to hear some of her tracks. You know what I'm saying? Because we do have another channel which is called Trapping and Rapping. That is also on YouTube, and she's going to perform on there tonight. So y'all can also check her out on there as well. You know, so we're trying to give a platform for a lot of artists that want to put their music out there to the streets and let people know that what their talent is and how and what their ambition is towards the music. So with that being said, you know what I'm saying, we had a wonderful time speaking with you today. Getting the backstory of who Miss Dakotah Vibez is.
Everyone's asking.
You know, we hope to have you back in the future. And
yes.
We can go ahead and go more in depth. But this is DJ Funk Junky, and this is
Cody Vibez.
And we're out of here.
You're faded, I'm changing. Stuck in the same fucking places. If I can, I'ma chase it. Working hard just to make it.